Be me. Early 30s, very online, empowered single woman in a city apartment. Still get called daddy's girl by friends, but never really felt it. Dad's in his 70s, retired, old school, barely texts, makes awkward jokes at holidays. Not the emotionally available type, always working, always tired. After mom died, felt like it was just me versus the world. I always post about breaking cycles, healing generational trauma. All my friends nod along. Set your boundaries, queen. See more posts. Women shouldn't have to babysit grown men, period. Dad keeps calling, wants to talk. I barely answer. Always tell myself, he's just lonely. Men never build social circles, not my problem. One day, he asks, can you help with groceries this week? I'm slammed with work, drinks, self-care routines. Say, Dad, you said you wanted to stay independent, right? He sounds disappointed, but says, sure, don't worry about me. I rationalize, if men want independence so bad, let them have it. Group chat with the girls. Men will literally die before asking for help. It's not our job. Everyone sends laughing emojis. Someone posts a meme. Deadbeat dads needing help for once. LOL, imagine. One friend, Clara, posts, honestly, you sure you're not just running away from responsibility? Brush it off. LOL, stop. You know what he's like. He'll survive. But that comment lingers. Way longer than I want to admit. A few days later, I see Clara at brunch. She's been caring for her mom after a fall. She looks tired, doesn't joke as much, leaves early. Slowly, the group chat goes quiet. Everyone's busy, less supportive, nobody really checks in anymore. Feels like the more I try to focus on myself, the lonelier it gets. Nobody wants to hear about setting boundaries now that it's not trendy. Realized the only person who'd text, "Did you eat today?" was my dad. Kind of funny, all that empowerment talk, but nobody wants to help each other for real. A few weeks pass. I start getting frustrated with his random texts. How do I transfer a photo on this phone? Do you know if my pension gets direct deposited? Every text feels like another burden. I send him links to tutorials, tell him it's all online now. He just replies with thumbs up, probably didn't even watch. Later that week, I find myself scrolling through old messages by accident, see a photo of me at middle school recital, dad in the background with a cheap camcorder. Remember him picking me up after every dance, never late, never complained. Weird how easy it is to forget that stuff when you're busy. Group chat lights up with new meme. Boomers can barely use Google. How are they even alive, lol? Can't help but laugh, but something about it feels off now. Randomly, the smell of his aftershave hits me when I walk past a stranger at Target. Reminds me of sitting in the back seat on rainy mornings. Him dropping me at school, coffee breath, cheap suit. Don't tell anyone, just keep scrolling, hoping the memory goes away. He starts repeating old stories when we talk, like I'm still 12. Friends say, he's probably got early dementia, better get him in a home before he burns your apartment down. Sounds cold, but kinda makes sense. Think of all the TikToks about breaking the cycle of codependency. Decide I need my space back, can't be his therapist and tech support forever. Start pushing the idea of retirement home. Sell it as progressive elder care, all the best amenities, you'll make friends. He says, I'd rather stay here. I don't want to be a burden. I snap back. You won't be? That's what the staff is for. You'll be fine. You're a grown man. He just looks at me, nods, like he already lost the argument. Group chat. My dad's the same, always acting helpless. Another, girl, you only have one life. Don't waste it. Everyone acts like cutting him off is normal. Someone else shares a meme about deadbeat dads. Nobody mentions the times he worked weekends just to afford my dance lessons. No one sees the tired way he used to stand in the crowd at every recital, cheering anyway. Just easier to pretend dads don't feel anything. All those years he worked doubles, never missed a parent-teacher night. Wouldn't buy himself new shoes, but made sure I had every supply for school. Used to say, it's nothing, every time I caught him limping after work. Even now, doesn't complain, just wants to stay in his own home. I ignore the voice in my head, reminding me who always fixed my car, who taught me to ride a bike. Tell myself, it's my time now. I deserve freedom. Text friends. Setting boundaries is self-care, not selfish. Nobody questions it. Get heart emojis and proud of you reacts. Still feel a weird knot in my stomach. I bring him to a few tours. He looks lost, barely says a word. One place is run by my ex's startup. All branding, modern furniture, inclusive care. Decide that's the one. Feels less like I'm dumping him somewhere. Friends say, brave move, you deserve your own life back, not his nurse. Post on Instagram. Proud to prioritize my own life. Dad can handle himself, he's always said so. Yas Queens in comments, setting boundaries, so inspiring. Dad moves in, sits by the window, silent, keeps asking if I'll visit. Promise I'll come every weekend. Meanwhile, Dad tries to make friends in the rec room, clutches an old birthday card I made him in 3rd grade, all smudged marker hearts. Watches other residents get visits from their kids, some of them weekly. He tries to chat with the guy about baseball, but conversation stalls out. Keeps glancing at the door every time footsteps pass, just hoping it's me. Staff tries to include him in activities, he just shakes his head, polite but distant. One nurse jokes, "Another one whose kids are too busy, huh?" He just smiles, doesn't argue. Ends up back in his room, sorting through my childhood drawings like they're treasure. First week, I do visit. Post selfies with Dad, big smile, hashtag breaking the cycle. He barely eats, just stares at the door, says, "Thanks for coming. Don't stay long. Busy with errands, new guy I'm seeing." Tell myself, men always say they're tough, he'll get over it. Work gets busy, friends' birthdays, dating apps, Pilates, whatever. A week goes by, skip my visit. Send Dad a text, "Sorry, slammed with work, next week for sure." He just replies, "Okay." 2 weeks, then 3. Staff leave messages, "Your father's having trouble adjusting, please visit." Roll my eyes, tell myself he's just stubborn. Text my friend, "He needs to grow up, can't depend on me forever." She agrees. Men are like kids, always need rescuing. Feel better for a second, then remember every time he patched up my skinned knees, every time I called him at 1 a.m. Just wanted to hear your voice. Brush it off. He'll bounce back. They're just not trained for his personality. He'll make friends. I think men always say they don't need anyone, then blame women for being alone. LOL. It's not my job to coddle him. He's a grown man. Get a bill in the mail, additional services for full recovery, never read the details. Just pay it. Assume he's being dramatic. Hear from a nurse. He slipped in the hallway. Nobody found him for almost 2 hours. Brushed it off as normal for old people, but he tried calling me after. Saw the missed call, Dad, 1:14 a.m., but didn't pick up, muted the notification. The next morning, quick text from him. "Just wanted to say hi, hope you're okay." Never replied, too busy with meetings. Staff tells me later, "He kept telling everyone he didn't want to bother you. Never once said he was in pain, just limped around, waiting for me to visit. Dad tries calling a few times. Leave him on red, feel guilty, but put it off. Phone lights up with a missed call from him. Let it go to voicemail. He just says, 'Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Call when you can.' I listen, then swipe it away. Convince myself he's fine. Men always say they want space. Get busy with work, girls' night, new dating app matches. Somehow, can't shake the feeling he's waiting for me anyway. Eventually, just mute his number. Out for drinks, friend says, 'If I ever end up in a home, just shoot me, LOL. Everyone laughs. Good thing women have real friends. Don't mention my dad. Just change the topic. One text from him pops up. "Hope you're having a good day, kiddo." Swipe it away. Too busy scrolling memes. Later, realize that was sent on his birthday. Didn't even remember until I see a calendar at the home with Dad's birthday, circled in shaky red pen. His only message that day, just left on red, no reply. He called and left a voicemail once, probably just to hear my voice back. Go to play it after he's gone, finger slips, accidentally deletes it. Never even listened. Now all I want is to hear him one more time. A few months pass, get a call from the home, missed it, check voicemail. "Your father's not adjusting well, please visit." Think about going, but already booked for brunch. TikTok collab, too much happening. Leave him on red again. One Saturday, open my calendar, see a note. Visit Dad. Almost call him. Finger hovers over his name. Group chat buzzing, brunch invite, bottomless mimosas. Tell myself, I'll see him next weekend, he'll be fine. Close the phone, toss it in my bag, head out the door. Later, realize that was the last weekend before everything changed. Keep thinking, if I just called, maybe it'd be different. Then the call comes, mid-scroll on Instagram, thumb hovering over a meme. Unknown number, almost let it ring out. Pick up just to stop the noise. Voice on the other end, calm but too gentle. "This is Riverside Manor. Is this Sarah Collins?" Heart drops. Suddenly wish I was still a kid who could hand the phone to Mom. She says it straight. I'm so sorry to tell you, your father passed away last night. For a second, everything goes silent. Can only hear my own breathing. The apartment feels colder, like the windows are open. I ask, how? But don't really want the answer. Staff says, he passed peacefully in his sleep. No pain? We found him this morning. The word found sits in my chest, heavy, can't swallow it. Start crying, but it's the ugly, choked kind, not movie tears. My mind starts running in circles. Did he try to call again? Was he alone for hours? Want to ask, did he say anything at the end, but can't make my mouth work? The nurse pauses, then adds, he kept your photo by his bedside, always told us you'd be there soon. Hang up, stare at my phone, group chat still blowing up about weekend plans. Scroll back, reread every ignored text, every next week, I promised. Try to cry but feel numb, like the grief can't get through all the excuses I built up. Look at my reflection in the phone screen, makeup from brunch, dead eyes. Call my closest friend, goes to voicemail, just leave a message. Hey, my dad. Never mind. Sit on the floor for what feels like hours, hugging my knees, wondering if he knew I cared at all. The next day, go to the home, expecting some closure, but it feels more like walking into someone else's mistake. Staff give me a box, say, he wanted you to have these. Shake so bad I almost drop it. Other residents just nod, say, sorry for your loss, like they've practiced it 1,000 times. Start to realize this is what being alone really feels like. Other residents, he mostly kept to himself, missed his daughter. Staff hand me a box of his things, old photos, my childhood drawings, Father's Day cards. He kept all of it by his bed. Even the dumbest drawings, stick figures labeled best dad ever. He kept them all. Some have crumpled edges from being handled too much. See a letter I wrote when I was 12. Thanks for always picking me up when I fall. Wonder how many times I let him fall and just walked away. Drop my keys in his old apartment, reach down, notice a dusty calendar on the wall. My birthday circled in red ink, call my girl, scribbled beside it. His handwriting looks shaky, probably wrote it months ago. Find a drawer stuffed with every card I ever made him. Staff mentions, he always told us, she'll come soon, just busy at work. Never once heard him complain, just excused me, even when I bailed. Kind of want to tear the calendar down, but just leave it there. Nurse tells me, he used to hold your photo, said he hoped you'd visit again. Another says, he cried during mealtimes, we thought he had dementia, but he knew exactly who you were. Never saw him cry, always acted so stoic at home. Thought he didn't care, never realized he just didn't know how to ask. Walk around the home, see his face on a flyer. Our residents feel at home with us. My dad's smile, staged for a promo. Call the office, demand they take it down. He didn't even want to be there. They say, then why'd you put him here? Feel something crack, but tell myself, this is just how life goes. Find a note in an old photo album, Mom's handwriting. If I go first, don't let him be alone. He won't ask for help, but he'll need it. She knew. Realize I failed both of them. Sit in Dad's empty room, holding my own hashtag empowered posts on my phone, deleting one after another. See my own words. Proud to prioritize myself. Strong women don't abandon themselves for men. In reality, freedom cost me the only person who ever cared about me. No friends come for comfort, just more DMS about work and memes in the group chats. Scroll through old photos on my phone, birthday cakes, Dad always grinning behind me. See the one from my graduation, him tearing up but pretending it was allergies. Remember the long nights he'd help with homework, even when he barely spoke English. Never bragged, never asked for thanks. Just quietly did everything. Now, there's nobody left to call. Stare at the empty inbox. No new texts, no missed calls. Freedom feels like standing in an empty house that echoes back every I love you I ever ignored. Remember all the times he fixed my car, drove me to events, never missed a school concert. He never complained, just quietly showed up. Feel guilt spiral, regret calling him a burden, posting about deadbeat dads needing help for once. Talk to staff, find out he was left unbathed for days. Place was understaffed, I just trusted the branding over my own gut. He died after falling in his room, no one checked for 9 hours. See it now, my boundaries were just abandonment. Come home, try to rationalize. He was old, these things happen, can't blame myself for living my life. Scroll empowerment memes, none of them make me feel better. Write in private. Strong women don't abandon the people who loved them most. Think about posting it, decide against it. Get a DM from Mia, one of my closest friends. She says, "You don't have any regrets?" I laugh it off. Can't stop thinking about it all day. Then see another friend, Lily, stops showing up to brunch. Find out she's been caring for her own mum, looks tired every time I see her. Nobody posts about empowerment anymore. Start to wonder if we're all just running away from anyone who needs us. Next week, funeral. No family, barely any staff. Stand there alone, empty chairs, cheap flowers, pastor reading a generic speech. No friends come. Too awkward, too busy. Realize independence means nothing if you cut off everyone who loves you. Go through dad's stuff at home, find self-help books, how to talk to your adult daughter, grieving the loss of a wife without breaking your kids. Never knew he even cared about getting closer. He tried, just in his slow, old-fashioned way. Saw his slowness as apathy. Think about all the jokes I made about men being disposable. See my own tweets? Just another useless man, LOL. Find old voicemails, dad's voice. Just wanted to say hi, love you, hope you're okay. Never replied. Feel like I failed him, but too late for that now. Few weeks later, see his face in a new promo. Our residents feel at home with us. Dad's photo, staged smile, fake happiness. Nobody really cared what he wanted. Scroll through old group chats, all the memes. Men should just get over it. Remember staff saying he missed his daughter every day. He didn't want to be a burden. I made him one anyway. Final scene, sit alone in my apartment. No calls, no messages, just the sound of the fridge humming. Realize, maybe freedom means nothing if it costs you everyone who ever loved you. Write in my notes. Independence is great until you're the only one left. Look at dad's photo, finally let myself cry. For once, nobody around to post about it. Stand at the grave, wind cold, not a single friend beside me. Realize all those empowered posts never called back when I needed someone. No Instagram story, no meme, no DM. Just me and a memory. Remember Mom's old words. You get one father, don't waste it. Look up at the sky. Wish I could say sorry. Nobody left to listen. What do you think? Is this empowerment, or just making sure nobody ever depends on you? Maybe I broke the cycle, or maybe I just broke myself. Nah, strong women don't regret, right? Can't blame myself for wanting my own life. Keep telling myself that, every night.